Would you use a cobweb bandage? Recently, Gayle the Witch Next Door and Mumma have done some great videos on the uses of spiders and cobwebs in magic. And because I'm a massive nerd, I wanted to add to the spider lore by referring to my trusty friend, my Sussex folk medicine book, just to give a Sussex perspective. The book says that in Sussex, cobwebs used to be the most popular remedy for a bad cut. So medicinal cobwebs were apparently first documented by a Greek doctor called Dioscorides, and if anyone wants to correct that pronunciation, please do, who served in the army of Nero. And he used cobwebs with olive oil to staunch wounds on the battlefield. And it was his writings that became one of the standard texts of English medicine back in the medieval times. So in England between the 16th and 18th centuries, it was both official and folk practice to use cobwebs in this way. But obviously after some time it did disappear from official medical practice. There was a wise woman in Sussex called Old Grandmother Huggett who used to use cobwebs to cure wounds, and there's another account given that I thought would be fun to read. When we were living in Hayshot some 30 years ago, we had an old gardener who appeared for his morning coffee one day with his forefinger adorned with a dirty and gory bandage. He told me that he'd got himself with the sickle and refused my first aid, saying that he'd dressed it with cobwebs and sump oil. During the next week, the dressing got larger and further rags were wound around it, and I became increasingly concerned. Then one day he arrived with bandage gone and a beautifully healed wound. It had been a deep one, nearly removing the nail and down to the bone, and over an inch long. So apparently cobwebs work. And then the author of this book finishes by saying, though our sources are too patchy to allow any certainty, I have the impression that spiders' webs were the most widely used Sussex folk cure for wounds, because the cure was effective and easy to remember. And cobwebs were easy to obtain at short notice anywhere all year round. The use of wound warts was quite widespread, which is using plants. Most wise women seem to have known at least one wound cure based on the application of wound warts, but not as commonplace as the application of cobwebs. I thought that was really fun. I wanted to add that into the spider lore that Gayle and Mumma have kindly provided. So let me know, would you use a cobweb as a bandage? And if you know of any other uses for spiders and cobwebs within witchy practices or folk medicine, please feel free to share. Have a great day.